Most new investors don't lose money because the market crashes. They lose money because they don't know what numbers to look at. Before I buy any rental property, I check 5 specific numbers. If they don't hit, it's no deal. So let's go check out exactly how I analyze a rental property before putting in an offer.
The first number is obvious, the purchase price. But here's what most beginners get wrong.
They focus on, is this a good deal compared to market value, when they should be focused on, does this price make the numbers work?
Because a property can be under market value and still be a bad rental. But if I buy a duplex in the Sault with a $600 mortgage, I can feel pretty confident that the rent coming in is going to leave me in the profit.
Which brings us to our second number, the realistic rent. Not the optimistic rent, not what the seller says he thinks you can get, but what is someone willing to pay today? So you may look at comparable listings, but ideally you want to have tenants already living in the building, or at least recently living in the building with leases signed, so you know what someone is willing to pay for the place. Now, if I find the realistic rent, I may even want to subtract 15 to 20%. For example, if I find that someone's willing to pay $1,400 for a unit, I may just call it about $1,200 just to be safe. Because if the deal only works on perfect rents, it might not be a good deal. Now let's talk about expenses, because this is where noobs get wrecked. They only calculate the mortgage, but that's not expenses. Real expenses is property taxes, insurance, utilities, maintenance, vacancy, property management. Even if you're not hiring somebody, you got to take it into account from any traveling you may need to do in order to manage the property. You got to add all that stuff up and make sure you're still in the green after the rent. Assume things will go wrong, because they will. If a deal only works when nothing goes wrong, it's not a good deal.
Fourth number is going to be the renovations. This can be the silent killer. A property might look cheap but need $20,000 worth of work. So that $130,000 property just turned into $150,000. Renovations must be budgeted realistically, overestimated slightly, and planned before the closing. And ask yourself, are these renovations going to potentially increase the value of the property, or are they necessary for safety and security?
And now we bring it all together for the final, arguably most important number after your purchase price, after your rent, after your expenses, your renovations. What you're left over with every month is your cash flow. And if your property doesn't cash flow, you need a very good reason to buy it, because otherwise you're basically just speculating on the appreciation. You want a positive monthly income, because cash flow protects you from downside, pays you while you wait, and reduces risk. If Bitcoin crashes, cash flow keeps coming in. If the market stalls, cash flow keeps coming in. That's the game. So before I ever buy, I plug the purchase price, the rent, expenses, renovations, and if the final number, cash flow, doesn't hit, it's a walk. No emotion, no attachment, the numbers decide. But if you run these 5 numbers before every deal, you dramatically increase your chances of winning long term. Before you buy your first rental, which of these 5 numbers do you think people mess up the most? Let me know in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe if you want to keep following my journey for more tips like this as I navigate as a small landlord. Let's go. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Peace.